Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, we live in this weird world with these weird kind of cringe standards. Where did this idea that political correctness is a good thing come from? When I think about political correctness, I think about cowardice. I think about fake people who are just trying to play a game the system, put on a mask, put on a facade, pretend to be something that they're not, just to cultivate a clean public image. I think about a fake, somebody who should not be trusted. On the opposite end, when you have somebody who actually tells it like it is, who's willing to kind of, do the dirty work and say what really needs to be said, the people who maybe sometimes take it a little bit too far, I tend to view those people less as a problem, less as unprofessional, and more as courageous. I don't get how that's not the standard, whether you're left wing or whether you're right. This idea that this very blank, empty political suit, this sort of political object, is a superior product over somebody who is more raw, more of a real human being that you'd actually encounter in real life. I just can't get with that. And it's kind of why I like Donald Trump so much. I like people who don't hold back, people who say what they actually feel. I've lived my entire life that way. It's gotten me in trouble my entire life. But honestly, at the end of the day, I think it's one of my strongest characteristics. I'm going to tell it like it is. If a friend is starting a project and they're asking you, well, what do you think? And you know that it's trash, yet you tell them that it's fantastic, it's great, and it's going to make them a multi-millionaire or make them famous, well then you're just a liar and frankly a bad friend. And I think that standard applies everywhere. Actually, if you think about it, if more people were honest, then maybe we wouldn't have this modern epidemic of every second guy you meet telling you he's going to be the next big SoundCloud rapper. Maybe if more people told their friends that they sucked at rapping, society would be way better off. I don't know, I'm going on kind of a weird tangent, my apologies, but I'm sure you guys get what I mean. This is why I like politicians like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so this moment just happened during a House hearing as Republicans are gearing to impeach Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Take a look.
Our rhetoric and to denounce anti-Semitism and anti-police rhetoric in this country so that Jewish Americans and police officers can be safer?
Congressman, I do.
Thank you, and I yield back.
The gentleman yields, and now I recognize the gentlelady from Georgia, Ms. Greene.
That was quite entertaining from someone that had a sexual relationship with a Chinese spy, and everyone knows it. But
I move to take her words down. Completely inappropriate.
Yeah, stand by just a second while we research the rule. Give me just a second. The chair recognizes the gentlelady from Georgia and asks if she would like to retract those words.
No, I will not.
Now, I told you you'd get a kick out of it. Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't play games. Most boring pseudo-intellectual losers will tell you that, oh, this is so bad, so unprofessional. We're the laughingstock of the world. But I view this as a frickin' breath of fresh air, because this is exactly how someone like Eric Swalwell should be treated. The guy is such a frickin' snake. He's such a political chameleon. He's such a liar, such a deeply hyper-partisan establishment crony, such a fundamentally unserious human being, let alone politician. And you mean to tell me that the standard when dealing with Eric Swalwell should be respect? My response to that would be, have you seen this man's Twitter feed? He's simply awful, and the idea that he should be lecturing anybody on anything is laughable. Yes, Eric Swalwell, why don't you lecture us on national security? This, by the way, quite entertaining, coming from someone that actually had a relationship with a Chinese spy. It goes on and it applies to pretty much everything. Yes, Eric Swalwell, why don't you tell us on just how deeply disturbing it is that Donald Trump had a supposedly or allegedly adulterous relationship with Stormy Daniels? Why don't you tell us and lecture us why that's such a bad thing and Donald Trump should go to jail for it or prison? Kind of entertaining coming from someone that had a sexual relationship with a Chinese spy while married to another woman. And the follow-up after Marjorie Taylor Greene said that was to scrub it from the record. Unprofessional, censor it. Well, how about no? How about Marjorie Taylor Greene is an adult? She's an elected representative. How about she can say what she wants when she wants and it be admitted to the record? Just because you find it maybe a little bit controversial or a little bit edgy doesn't mean that she's not making a valid point and doesn't mean that she isn't speaking the truth. You know, she is speaking the truth, and this is the issue. In this world of fake politicians, where they all sort of speak a certain way and dress a certain way, the blue suit with the red or blue tie, the same specific hand motion and the news speak. You know, I get it, it's a crafted image, it's a marketing thing. We're supposed to believe that the only thing that actually matters is the outer exterior, essentially reading books by the cover. We're supposed to believe that those are the good guys, even though those fake empty suit politicians are the same individuals who are at the butt of every freaking joke, the same untrustworthy scumbags who say one thing then do another, who campaign on one thing then do another, who say one thing to the audience and then another to corporate executives. We're supposed to believe that those are the good guys who should be trusted, and people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, well, oh, that's scary, shiver me timbers, how offensive. No, and no, never, in fact. You know, it's like I always say, Marjorie Taylor Greene often takes a lot of heat from her detractors as being unprofessional or uneducated. And you know what? Marjorie Taylor Greene may not be the most educated, most eloquent individual. You know, she's no Ben Shapiro. But that's kind of the point. That's kind of why people like her. That's why I like her. That's why people like Donald Trump. Donald Trump got elected not because he was a polished politician, but because of moments like this. When he was put on the debate stage with Hillary Clinton, he said what everybody was thinking.
She complains that Donald Trump took advantage of the tax code. Well, why didn't she change it? Why didn't you change it when you were a senator? The reason you didn't is that all your friends take the same advantage that I do. And I do. You have provisions in the tax code that, frankly, we could change. But you wouldn't change it because all of these people give you the money so you can take negative ads on Donald Trump.
It's not the first time I play that clip to make this point, but again, what other politician other than someone like Donald Trump would say something like that? Actually owning it. Saying, yeah, I'm taking advantage of paying less taxes. All the other fake politicians would avoid that, of course. We don't want to pretend as if we're part of the elite class that's taking advantage of tax loopholes. Donald Trump's like, no, of course I am. Because he's more of a real person. And that's relatable, because let's be completely honest. You know, I know Democrats love to virtue signal, oh, well, if I was rich, I would donate all of my money in taxes into charity. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Of course you would. Then you have those hilarious street interviews where leftoids get asked on the street whether they support all of these various different social programs. And then they get asked, well, what portion of your salary would you be willing to donate in order to pay for those programs? And all of a sudden, nobody wants to sign the petition. Everybody's for an increase in taxes. Everybody ideologically wants to pretend as if they're so virtuous and willing to sacrifice for everybody else. When push comes to shove, when you're in the actual position, everyone's human, of course, and people want to hold on to what's theirs. Most people know that deep down inside, but Donald Trump is one of the few politicians who is actually willing to say it. And that should be the new standard for politicians. You know, enough of this fake political theater with all of these ridiculous actors. You know, it's been decades upon decades of tiptoeing around subjects, refusing to actually say the truth, too much focus on, ironically, focus groups, worrying more about perception and not offending the majority of the population rather than just saying and doing what's right and saying the truth. Honestly, I've had enough of it, and at this point, the more offensive the politician is, tends to give me more intrigue. Of course, it can go too far and people could be just completely unhinged and insane, but in most cases, if the media is saying, this person is crazy, this person is insane, this person is a lunatic, unprofessional, blah, 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 most of the time, I'm thinking, whoa, that person is probably hitting all the right marks and the media hates it. I don't know, just a funny moment with Marjorie Taylor Greene doing Marjorie Taylor Greene stuff. And I thought it was the perfect clip to have this more interesting discussion at large. I want to know what you guys think, obviously, in the comments section. What do you think about political correctness? What do you think about the new style politician? We can call it the Trump style politician. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Of course, you know that we'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.